Welcome to the Creativity Flow podcast. I'm the host, Sara Trevisiol, a coach and consultant for creative professionals. And I will discuss in this podcast with artists from different sectors what are the strategies to overcome the sometimes rocky up and downs of a creative process. So if you're a professional, creative, an artist yourself, and you sometimes struggle with the challenges of the creative process, then tune in and discover how other artists found creative solutions to overcome challenges and how they transformed it into life-changing actions. Today, we will discuss about the topic, what is creativity, and are we all creatives? I mean, are we all creative creatures, or is it just a gift that some people have? We will discuss this today with incredible tattoo artist and friend of mine, Fabian Langes. Hi, Fabian.
Hi, how are you?
Wonderful. Thanks for your time. I mean, you are an artist since 23 years. I mean, you're in tattoo art since a long time. You recently opened a new shop. You had other shops over the years. So you're a really long time in the business. So my question would be, did you always know that you will become an artist? Was this always a dream of yours?
Not really, I think. I drew since... I'm drawing since I was a kid, and because I wasn't really the sportive kind of kid, so I was a lot indoors and drawing. That was always my passion, and somehow I became a tattooer by accident because a friend of mine had a starter tattoo kit, and he sold it to me and my brother. My brother tried it once, lost interest, and I tried it then. And I was hooked immediately. So at that point, I knew I want to be a tattoo artist. Yeah.
And I mean, how is it to stay in one art sector for such a long time? Is it easy to maintain this creative vibe? Or sometimes you have the feeling that you're losing something or you need to renew it?
Actually, all the time. I think I need to renew it. It's a struggle sometimes, but if you want to grow in creativity, you need to have these creative holes to get out of them stronger. Because I think creativity is like a wave. Like everything in life, once you are up, once you are down. But you need this downtime to refill your creative brain. It's like after a while you used all your new ideas up, and then you are like empty. And in this time, sometimes, obviously, I struggle. I think it feels like I can't draw for shit anymore. So, but since I knew that it's, I say that it's that I need this to be in this creative hole. Since I know that, it's easier. So I know. Once I come out, I have new ideas and I have a new high, and I can draw almost everything I want, And the thing with tattooing is you have to be creative every day. That's a bit, it can be difficult, but I try to draw every day, every night, or like almost every night, but that helps obviously too. So, yeah.
Lovely. So if I understand it right, your strategy is really to do it every day, to practice, to train a lot, and to accept also this, creative block phases, because you know that after that, you will even have a new revelation, a new kind of express yourself.
Strategy, I don't know. I just love to draw. So that's my daily night routine. That I, after dinner or something, I don't even watch stuff anymore. I listen to podcasts or listen to a documentary in the background, and I'm drawing. It's my passion, and I feel better next morning when I wake up to know that I drew something or that I created something the night before. Obviously, I have also to draw for my job, but mostly I draw just for fun or for myself, or I draw designs like wanna-dos, designs I want to tattoo, or I draw digital paintings or sketches or whatever comes to my mind, and I have to draw it so I can sleep, I think.
So it's a kind of addiction, I would say, something that you really need. I mean, could you even imagine yourself without creativity?
I never tried to imagine that. Sometimes it feels, if you have a 9 to 5 job, that you, after the job, you go home, you don't have to think about it. With my job is normally the first thought in the morning and the last thought at night. Sometimes it would be nice not to think too much about work, but as I love my job so much, it's not the worst, I would say. But to imagine, if I wouldn't be creative, I think I wouldn't be anything, you know. I don't have many hobbies who have nothing to do with creativity. I like to go up the mountains or for a hike or something like that, but that's it, I think. You know, once in a while I go climbing or, yeah, but all my hobbies are creative. So I draw, I paint, sometimes I sculpture things, or, yeah, I play a little bit guitar, so that's also a creative thing. And yeah, all new ideas I have, they are always somehow creative. There is not much space in between.
Wow. So it seems really something that, yeah, fills your life. And I mean, creativity is something really difficult to describe or even to, yeah, to catch. So how would you describe creativity, or what does it mean for you?
Yeah, I gave it a thought lately. I thought it's this, maybe it's a word like made of two words, like creative and activity, you know, like creativity. I thought maybe, but I think it's the urge to create. You know, some people are chefs and they create nice food, or there are people who create books, they write, or music. Some people create babies. I don't know how creative that is, but yeah, I think it's the urge to create whatever it is, because it can happen to me. Like, for example, once I wanted to go to bed like 2 o'clock in the morning. That's normally my time to go to bed. But in that moment, I had an idea for a t-shirt design. And then I thought, okay, what should I do? Should I try to sleep and probably can't sleep because the idea is in my head? Or I start drawing. So I did till 4 o'clock in the morning, and thank fuck, the battery of my iPad ran out, and I thought, okay, that's a sign. So I went to sleep, but stuff like that happens sometimes, you know.
So
Yeah.
it's really something that overcomes you, if I understand that right. So an idea, when it comes, it has to go out. Or how do you even know how to channel creativity? Is it something that pops to your mind? Or, I mean,
Yeah, normally, yes. It's the spark I think is the idea, because if you don't have an idea what you want to create, you struggle normally. You still can draw or create something, but most of the times maybe it is something you have drawn 10 times, 1,000 times before. But if you have a new idea that just pops in your head, then it's a good one, normally. If you have to think what you want to draw, sometimes it's not the best idea, I think. You can also just start drawing and see what happens. That works too. But I struggle a bit with that technique. Some people are really good at that. But for me, it's most of the times I need a bit of an idea, and then I'm curious to see what comes out of it, because when I start a drawing or something, I normally it's like watching a movie. You want to see how it ends. And so it's with drawing, you want to see the finished painting or drawing or whatever. So it's also a kind of curiosity. How do you say curiosity? Is that the right word? Yeah.
Yes.
Like being curious for the things you create yourself, because you have an idea in your head, but it never turns out like you imagined it. When some customers they tell me sometimes, it must be easy for you because you can imagine the tattoo already beforehand. And I said, yeah, I can imagine it somehow, but that's not the finished piece. Is not what I imagined. It's just what came out. It would be interesting if you could do that, but maybe also boring. I don't know.
I love it because then it's really going with the process, being in the flow, just exploring what comes out. And for example, in coaching, a lot of coaches around the world say always, don't be so anxious about the future or stuck in the past, but live the now. And that is where you can develop much better your own being. And so I think creativity is really a way for everybody to stay in the moment, to really live the second and just let it flow. Like you said, also shut down your mind. Some things.
It's like that, definitely, because especially when I paint paintings, I paint sometimes quite big ones. But for that, I really need a day where I know I have nothing else to do. Sometimes I don't even eat, or I eat just snack, because I think if I have to cook something during this painting process, I could lose my, the passion to continue. So I'm afraid of that. So I don't eat, or I try not to get distracted by anything, But that's really proper living in that moment. And that's the best thing in life you can do anyways. Because if you think too much about the past, or if you think too much about the future, it's like, oh, I should have done blah, 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 or, oh, how I do that in future. That normally doesn't bring you in a very good mood. So the best place you can be is in the now. And I try it as good as I can. Obviously, it's not working every time, but I think it's you described it quite well, I think.
Thanks. And I mean, I just try to listen to a lot of different creatives, and I'm a filmmaker and writer. So I also know how it is to be in these holes, like you call it, or having the feeling that no ideas come to you. But I also like to train myself to stay in this trust that creativity comes, like you said, like a wave, no?
Exactly. Yeah.
Stronger, and But do you have some strategies? Because you said it's important to stay in the now. So really feel the moment. Don't think too much of the outcome of the performance you need to do. Do you have some specific rituals that you used to do to stay more in this now and so be an open vessel for creativity?
Yeah, well, I discuss that sometimes with friends, with other tattoo artists. Some of them have their strategies, like, for example, just do something else. Even you can go for a hike, or you just watch a movie or play computer games, something else, or do something else creative. Maybe not making a painting or a drawing, do something else. It can help, but I figured out. To me, it seems creativity comes back when she's in the mood. So you have to trust and that it comes back. Obviously, there are some tricks you can do. For example, you could draw a topic, for example, an eagle, or some other bird or whatever, and you draw a design of it like every day. And maybe the first few days you draw an eagle, standing, flying, whatever. And after a while, you have to start being more creative. So you draw maybe the eagle in a different pose, or you add other stuff to it, so your brain has to start to be creative again. That is a very nice trick, but yeah, normally I just wait, because I have to draw anyways, because if I don't draw, I don't have work, and if I don't have work, I can't pay my shit. So it all, like, drawing for work somehow always works. But the biggest struggle I have, that I can't draw whatever I want to draw, and that can be a bit depressive after a while. But well, then I do other stuff, like it's good to go for a walk, for example. It frees your mind. That helps a lot too. Obviously, here where I live, it's super beautiful. It's a lot of nature, and you can go out of the house and you're immediately in a forest or a mountain. I mean, it's your hometown too, right? So that helps quite a lot. Or holidays help too. I'm always super inspired when I'm on holidays, but normally I don't bring anything to draw with me because I'm on holidays. But sometimes it's still here when I'm back, but also often enough it's gone. Or when you're back, you think, okay, the idea wasn't that good. That's also maybe a reason why you should, if you have an idea, if it pops up in your head, maybe just sit down and draw if you have the possibility.
Love that. For example, I have always a small book beside my bed, because I have some ideas pops to my mind during night. So I'm very creative during night, but of course I cannot suggest.
Me too. Yeah.
So usually I just wake up, because I'm very connected with my dreams. I wake up, I write down the thing, and then I go to bed again. So it's like I'm in this kind of semi-sleeping state. And it's interesting because, for example, there are some artists, Salvador Dali was one of them, but not the only one, that really tried to stay in these theta delta level frequencies. It's when we are kind of asleep, but not really. We're not in a deep sleep, but we are not awake. And apparently also some scientific researchers mentioned that this theta level is when we are most creative. We are most connected with intuition. So, for example, Salvador Dali, he had a little ball in his hand, and he took naps all the time by purpose, because it was his way to connect with his creativity. But when he falls into a too much deep sleep, then his hand will fall, and with the ball, with the metallic ball, it will fall on something that makes noise. So he would.
Okay.
And this, for example, a trick he used to stay always in this semi-sleeping level, but not deep sleep. So there are really a lot of tricks. Rick Rubin, for example, does this too, which is a music producer.
Yeah, no.
There are some interesting techniques, and I think it's just important that everybody finds his own way, because we are all different, and maybe also in different phases, we need different approaches.
Yeah. What helps me a lot is I smoke weed when I draw normally, because I figured out that because my mind is I'm like a cat sometimes, so my mind is once here, then it's there. And it's, I struggle to draw during the day because there are too many distractions. And so at night, to come down, I smoke some weed, and it opens my mind, and it calms me down. And obviously at night, no one calls me or writes or whatever distraction would be like during the day. So that helps a lot, and it helps me to focus. I'm really just here drawing and nothing else, and that's my kind of nirvana, I think, but
I love that you mentioned that, because I think it's so important, especially in Western society. We are so overstimulated all the time that we don't have even time to get bored. And I think
exactly.
I think it's so important to have these pauses where we just be, or we just look at the forest, or we just enjoy a sunset, where we really pause, because without pause, we cannot go into the next phase. We really need that to recharge. It's like sleeping, or like Salvador Dali. It's without rest, I cannot produce.
Yeah.
And I think we should always remember us that it's important. And without, we cannot just produce all the time. There are different phases. Like
there we are again at the wave. Everything in life is like a wave. There's night and day. You're in a good mood. You're depressed. You're tired. You are. I say you're super awake or whatever. There's to everything. There's this other side, and normally you always need both sides, if you want it or not. But I could imagine if you would never have this creative hole, I could imagine that you would be stuck in some kind of style of drawing, for example, where everything you do looks always the same, And I think to grow, you need this up and down, I'm pretty sure that it's like that, because what would be happiness without sadness? I mean, you need this also to appreciate happiness, for example, more. You have to go through some sad times too. If you're always happy, it's always the same, and that's kind of boring, I think. Yeah.
So the up and downs are part, and we can really learn from creatives that they are part, and they are to accept, and we have to live the now and make the best out of it. And even failure, I don't know how you see it, but failure is the biggest learning process.
Sometimes it's the best teacher. If you like I said, I learned tattooing by myself, and with all these many mistakes I did, I wouldn't have learned it, because if you make a mistake, that's something you remember, because you won't do it again normally. Sometimes maybe it happens, but the best teacher is failure, I think. Yeah.
But there is no success without failure?
I don't think so. I don't know. I could imagine there are some people who got from the bottom to the top without any failure, but I guess they are quite rare, I think. I can't imagine. I mean, yeah. No, I think there will always be failure in everything. If it's a relationship, if it's a job, if it's sports, whatever. The only thing is, I guess you don't. You only have to watch out that you're not defeated by failure. So yeah, I guess it's also depends how you deal with failure. If you make a mistake and you're soon pissed because of that, and you say, "Okay, I won't do whatever it is ever again," yeah, well, then you lost. But I guess new day, new tattoo, new design, new whatever. You know, it's everything that was yesterday is in the past, anyways. You know, everything that was 5 minutes ago is in the past. And I try, yeah. I mean, that's life, right?
Definitely. What for me now pops up that, I mean, this is a very important learning tool that all creatives can give us, no? That really to drive to become better, you need to fail and you need to stand up again. So the real moment is action that you say, no? This, I want to create something new, and this is the human existence. We want all create, whatever it is. So, but
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and I think you just need to stand up again, and maybe you find a new angle, a new perspective, a new way to express yourself. And so now it comes to my mind again, the main question. Do you think that we are all creative people? Is it something that is really human, or some people are more attached to creativity?
Yeah, well, I think there are obviously some people who are more attached to creativity, but that doesn't rule out that other people aren't creative. I think because some people maybe just don't have the chance to be creative. Some people, I don't know, have work in jobs where they have not their mind set on creativity. You know, maybe if you work on some building, like if you are a builder, for example, you come home and you're tired as shit. Maybe the only thing you want is a beer and a movie, you know, and that's it. But maybe you would be a creative person if your upbringing would be different, for example. If your parents or teacher or whatever support whatever you did as a child, you know. I mean, I was drawing all my life, and my parents, they told me, "Oh, it's beautiful," you know, and teacher said it's beautiful. So obviously I thought, okay, I'm good at that. If other people say that, there must be something about it, you know. And that's the moment where you think, okay, I should do that more often, right? And talent comes from passion, and passion comes from the idea or from whatever it comes. But if you do something often, you get better at it. That's the logical way normally. And so if you do something often, you become talented. Maybe there is a little percentage of talent that's in you when you're born. I don't know. But normally, I mean, I play guitar, but I don't play it very well. But if I played so much guitar like I tattooed or drawing, then I would be obviously way better, you know? And so it's with everything. For example, when I was a kid and they told me I should go play football, my parents, they tried. Obviously, they have to see if a kid is interested in sports or not. And I was there for, I don't know, a week or something. And I thought that's stupid shit, I just don't have interest in it. So I would never become good at that, obviously. And but I think everyone can be creative, but maybe not everyone is interested in it or hasn't figured it out yet,
Or it's properly stimulated, like you said, and like exactly. Also, the feedback of other people is really important, because at the end we are social creatures, which also need to belong somewhere, needs to a sort of approval. But if we also think, all kids draw. Naturally, they have this urge to express, to show what they have also inside. No, maybe the one kid draws better than the other, but at the
obviously,
end,
but yeah.
who defines that?
Sorry.
Who defines what is a good drawing and what not?
Yeah, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, they say. So, I guess most parents would say, oh, that's nice, even though they think it's completely bullshit. But yeah, I don't know. But maybe some kids, they think, okay, it's a nice drawing, but it's not something I like to do. Maybe I want to spend my time with other stuff. And yeah, it's difficult to say, because in school you see drawings from other kids, and I was always like, I want to draw better than everyone else in my class. That wasn't that difficult, but maybe it also runs a bit in our family. My father drew quite well. Once he picked up a pencil or something. My brother wasn't that bad. And I think there were some other relatives who were artists, but I'm not so sure about that. And maybe it runs in your family a bit too. But like I said, talent comes from doing it often and all the time. So, and the more you do it, the more you will have feedback from people who say you are good or not or whatever, and then you decide, But yeah, that's really difficult to say, right?
It is. And also another very difficult question is, what do you think, where does creativity come from? Is it really an idea that you have, or is it something that you just interpret it in a new way, but the idea comes from other ideas from other people, so it's a continuation?
Yeah, well, mostly everything is a copy from a copy from a copy. Everyone saw something somewhere, especially in tattooing, especially in some styles, like traditional style. It's mostly a copy of a copy of a copy, but you can always give it your own twist. But creativity, I think, comes from everywhere. Wherever you have your eyes open enough and your mind open enough, you can see little things and have an idea, right? So I think on holidays is good because your mind is free from all the other shit you have to deal with every day. Like most artists, they are quite bad at doing like office runs and shit. You have to go to your commercialist or whatever office it is. I could cry if I have to, if I get a letter from some officers. That shit doesn't interest me at all, So that's why I also sleep not much, because I want to use the day as much as I can. And now I lost a bit my the thing what I wanted to say.
it's also a kind of training, no? I mean, an accountant is more trained to deal with the letters, with structure, with planning.
Exactly.
And and that's also training, no? And
Of
depends
course.
on interest.
Of course. It's also, I'm not sure where the creativity is in a tax return, blah, 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 or to count all these numbers and shit. But I only know I don't have that. But I have other interests, and they are on my top priorities, and all the other stuff is just shit that I have to deal with, But yeah, I'm bad at that. But I mean, I'm happy other people are very good at that shit, But if that is, I wouldn't think that is a creative job or whatever, but it's helpful for people like us.
It is. And they haven't even a structure. Sometimes it seems a paradox, but it can give you more freedom than don't having it. For example, you know that on Tuesday and Thursday you are in the studio, but you have one day free that allows you to recharge batteries, and so that you are more productive the other 2 days. So even having a sort of adapted structures on your needs, on what or timetables when your creativity is flowing. For example, in your case, during the night, this helps a lot, because then you have a certain direction, which is you can always have an idea at 4 a.m, and maybe your structures go to hell for that night. But usually you have a plan. And for example, I know that you always take one day of the week off. And I love this idea. So
Actually, I work 4 days a week, but there is, like Sunday, it's normally, I spend that day normally with my wife, but at night, I guess I draw, on a Sunday. But I figured out, first of all, I don't need to work 5 or 6 days, because I don't need much money, and I don't want be a twat like Elon Musk, or this kind of cunts. I'm not interested in that. I'm only interested in living my life the way I want to live it, and for that I don't need much money. That's it. I need 2 days sometimes, depending on how full the week is, to draw. Also during the day sometimes, depending on how many customers and how many new projects I have to design. And just because why should I work all the fucking time? I want to live. I have only one life I know of, and I want to live it to the max if I can. And that's why I think if I'm my own boss, why I should work, over hours and all this crap? I don't need that. And I think also it helps your creativity if you are not working all the fucking time, obviously. So, yeah.
But you figured this out just lately. At the beginning of your career, you also worked more days, more hours. So it's something that you discovered for you, and also your experience led you to this point where you saw, okay, I just work.
Yeah, I worked the first 8 years, I think. I work like 5 to 6 days from 10 to 7 p.m. And then I went home and I was drawing till 2 o'clock or something like that for mostly 8 years. But I was close to a burnout or something like that. At least a psychologist told me that. And he said, you should just work less, and customers, they will wait, and because I also never canceled an appointment except I was really ill, but and after that I realized, I don't have to work so much, but okay, in the beginning, you want to build your shop, you should work hard, obviously. I mean, to be a lazy cunt from the beginning of your career, that can't be the right way, So obviously I worked quite a lot, and I almost paid the price for that. So I just stepped down a bit, and I realized it works just as fine. And I'm happy with that decision too,
That you mentioned that, because I also think that abundance is not always having material stuff or money. Abundance is having time that you can
Yeah,
spend with the people that you
precisely.
like.
If you have the possibility, why would you work so much? Why would you destroy your body, your brain, um, and then you work your whole life and you think, when I'm in retirement, then I gonna travel or I live, blah, blah, blah. And once you are in retirement, then you drop dead or cancer or whatever it is. So I think I have the possibility. So I want to live now. Obviously, I have a job where I can combine it too. I can travel and work or whatever. I just think, why should I work all the time? That's fucking stupid. Humans are the only ones on this planet who have to pay to live here. We are, and it's all self-made bullshit. Religion, politics, all that crap is all human ideas, and we have now to live with that shit. So if I can make my life easier, I definitely gonna do that. And once I lie in bed dying, then at least I can I'm sure that I live my life to the fullest. I hope, obviously. But I think it's easy to say for me, because I have a job I love, I have a life I love, and a wife I love. It's life is good. It wasn't always that easy, obviously, but yeah. I mean, if
I get you completely, because I was also somebody that worked way too much because I was so in love with my work. But then I had to find a balance, because like you said, you can give a lot for maybe 10, 20 years. But after a while, even your body is saying, I
yeah,
need to stop, because we forget again these pauses that we mentioned, no? That we need.
exactly.
And if we skip that, it will come back. So a kind of prevention work is really to try to find ways where you can recharge batteries. Of course, we have the privilege and the autonomy, the freedom to choose when to work, but other people don't have that. But maybe then you can find other compromises that
Yeah.
try to help you to stay also in this mental health situation, where you really try not to overuse either the body, the mind, the soul.
Yeah. But I think also people who have the possibility to choose sometimes obviously have chosen the wrong path. They work themselves to death or whatever it is, and then they got struck down by some breakdown or how it's called, what I said before. Oh man.
Burnout.
Burnout, yeah, exactly. And that's from you get that also from a work you love. That's because it never felt to me that I was working too much or something like that. I loved it. But then all of a sudden I felt quite weird. I was like dizzy the whole time, and I couldn't point a finger on what it is exactly. So I obviously went to a psychiatrist. You say psychiatrist? Yeah. And yeah, he told me, man, just...
Psychologist, usually psychiatrist is...
yeah, psychologist. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he said, just don't work so much. If you can pay your shit, then everything is good. And I thought, oh yeah, fuck, that's logical, actually. But yeah, that helped. That helped.
But Fabian, a question. I mean, we are also living in a society that drills you all the time, and that where your work identity defines you as a person. And this is what, for me, for example, is super difficult in Western society. Even though I have a work that I really love, but I don't like that my work defines me. But sometimes it's really, we are all so stuck in these ideologies, in these beliefs that you have to produce, you have to show what you're able to do, that sometimes we forget that we are much more than our work, and we can define and we have a reason to be even without our work. Even if you are not a creative artist like you have a lot of other skills that you can share, that you can put. And it's not because you create art that you have the right to be part of a community. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think first of all, I do it for myself. Definitely. Okay, tattooing first comes the opinion of my customer, then my opinion, and then no one's opinion, because it's his tattoo, and I don't give a shit if someone else doesn't like it, as long as he is happy with it, and then that I am happy. But that's the other curse of creating something. Like in tattooing, I'm rarely happy with what I did. It's not that it's a bad tattoo or something. It's just for me. Sometimes when I see the photo, I think, I could have done that different and blah, blah, blah. So that's also, that's this curse of creativity, that you should not be happy with your work all the time, because that's also something where you then get stuck, I think.
Well, being defined, by your work, how limited is that, or how to escape that?
I don't know. I stopped giving a fuck about that a bit, because in times of social media, where you if you upload a tattoo and you get like 30 likes and you have, I don't know how many thousand followers, that you think, oh, maybe it's not good enough. Who gives a shit? That's the fucking internet. There are some people who have 100,000s of followers and are completely shitheads, They can draw for shit, but whatever they do to get all these likes or these followers. But I think, I don't give a crap. I have work enough, Why should I become like a prostitute of social media, for example? And that you can see in every other thing too, because someone else says, oh, I don't like this tattoo you did for this other guy. And I think, yeah, well, like the dude said, it's just like your opinion, man. I don't give a crap. But you have to learn that too, and I think it's getting easier with age.
It's like you said, it's also a kind of thing that comes with age, because also confidence comes with a certain experience, because you in your case, for example, you have a stable audience, paying clients. So you already built something, no? You built own community. Right. But of course, somebody that is just at the beginning, it's maybe a little bit tougher because you have to find your own.
The problem is, when I started out tattooing, there was no social media. So you had to rely on your work and how good it is or was. And now You can compare it to bands, musicians. They had to tour their asses off to be recognized. Now you upload a video on YouTube or TikTok or whatever, and I mean, there are so many fucking people without any talent at all who get super famous, while other people with shitloads of talent, but they have no talent for social media and how to sell yourself to your followers or whatever, or to the world, and they get no how you say, no following at all, or not much, because nowadays, if you, especially people who grew up with social medias, who were born in, I don't know, 2000 or something like that, they grew up with this crap. They know every fucking thing you can do on your phone, or, I'm happy if I can write a WhatsApp message. And sometimes I struggle with that too. So
yeah, we're from another age. I mean, we are
yeah.
way
But
back.
thank fuck we are from a different age. But obviously they maybe started tattooing some months ago, and they are already better than other people, or better than I. For something I needed 15 years to learn, they do that in a few months, but they have everything. You For example, nobody told me anything how some stuff works with tattooing. I had to, I was soldering my own needles, I had to figure out where I can buy colors and stuff and machines and blah, blah. Today, you open Amazon or AliExpress or whatever fucking app, and you can buy everything you want. And it's good too. It's not only crap, And I think to learn tattooing it was never that easy. And everywhere there are videos on YouTube how you do it, So obviously we live in a different world now, and go with it or stay behind, And I deal with it as good as I can. And I don't get me wrong. I think young tattooers who are really good, I think that's cool, because they keep me on my toes, because I don't want to be left behind, and I also don't want to be frustrated, Like some people, they say, "Oh, all these youngsters, they make holy crap and they do that and that and that." Yeah, some of them do, but some of them are really good, and they bring a new wave into this whole scene. It's not always good, but whatever is good, you can have a piece of it, or you can learn something from it,
So if I understand this right, you say whatever age you are, whatever stage of your art you are, just don't forget that you have to train to have persistency. You have really to train your skill and not be just happy that you can promote it in an easier way today. Yeah. So just stay on the ball. Just don't give up. And really believe in yourself. Just don't let yourself distract too much from the pressure of other art makers. So find your own way and stay persistent, because with the time, these things and these trainings, this persistency will be a success for you, and you will have your followers, your community, because I think for young people, but not only. And especially people that maybe are not full-time artists, they really have this fear of, but if I don't get commissioned, what then? If I don't have people that really like what I'm doing, if I don't have clients, what can I do? And of course, this is a huge fear, but if we are staying all the time in the fear, then we are again not living in the now, and we are not.
Yeah, and normally what you are afraid of, you should go towards that, because you have to face your fears. If you, because sometimes fears, they are not logical, they are just here. And to figure it out, if it's a fear that is real or not, you should go towards it, and see what happens. If it's not, if you, I mean, you don't have to run through Iran dressed as Uncle Sam. Don't do stupid shit. But like fears like that or whatever, just go towards it and figure it out,
And I guess in your kind of art, like you said, you have always to consider the opinion of your client, your audience. So I guess other form of arts you enjoy if the feedback is positive, but you don't need so much the feedback of your public. So I think there is kind of an intimate relationship with your client.
Yeah, really, actually. It's quite a close relationship sometimes, because you work close on the body of someone, sometimes in areas they are not so nice to get tattooed, because you are exposed a bit or something. But I normally have always a consultation with my customers first, where they tell me the idea and where it should be and whatever, and also to know them a bit better. That's what you have on conventions. It's I struggle there a bit because there is a customer coming to your booth and he says, I want one of your wanna-dos. And I say, yeah, okay. But I don't know that guy at all, And sometimes if they are talkative or something, then it's easier, But for example, if someone doesn't talk much, you never know if he's happy or not, And that can be quite annoying. But normally, people I tattoo here in my shop, they come first to a consultation. We talk about the design and everything, and we talk also other stuff. So just that I figure out a bit how that person is,
Beautiful. So it's a kind of conversation that you have. I mean, you share your art, but it's a kind of dialogue between you and your client. So it's really connection, very intimate.
Some customers that tell you things, maybe sometimes they have never told someone else. So you are a bit of a psychologist yourself, a bit sometimes. And that can, if you're not careful, that can drain you, depending on what stories they tell you. But on the other side, is also very nice that they open up like that. And it's also easier to get to this not only tattooer customer relationship, then it's more friendly,
For me, another question would be, because you mentioned it before, sometimes it's not easy to find the compromise between loving to make your art, so this freedom to do what you want, and the desires of your clients that maybe not always fit exactly with your idea.
Exactly.
So how do you deal with this? Because this is the challenge of your work, I guess.
Yeah, I think the most important is for every tattooer to understand that you're not only an artist, you're also a craftsman. And I think because there's always this discussion if tattooing is just only a craft or is it an artistry, whatever. I think it's both. As long as I have to create something, when I have to draw something to tattoo that, then that's it's a mix of both, right? If I tattoo a design that I haven't drawn, they are called flash. Back in still in the 80s, 90s, they tattooed designs from the wall. They were called flash. And okay, for that you don't have to be an artist. You only have to know how your tools work. It's like every other person who is just it doesn't make you a painter if you copy something, right?
Okay, so something that is a pre-confectionated design that you
Exactly.
just...
But normally drawn by another tattooer because back in the days, not every tattooer was able to draw, So some who could draw better, they made these flash sheets with different designs on, and they sold it or gave it away, or they how you say, I give you my flash sheet, you give me yours, stuff like that. And customers come in the shop and they say, okay, I want this design there. And you tattooed it also 1,000 times if enough people ask for that design. But now it's more, everything went in the direction custom work. So you have to be able to draw somehow, at least. And well, that means you have to create something. And if you create something, it's art. Why? I mean, I never understood that discussion. The thing is, sometimes I have to draw designs where I'm not 100%, where I don't really like the idea, but I try to make the best out of it so that my customer is happy and that I am happy. Normally, for example, also I say I'm a tattooer. I don't say I'm a tattoo artist. It's just, maybe I did say that before, but it's in the heat of the moment. But yeah, I just don't like the word somehow. And I don't need a word to describe what I am or what I do somehow, I'm a tattooer, and everything else what comes with it, that's what I do, because I'm not the only tattooer who is painting or drawing or doing other creative stuff, and there are some people who do way more than I do, but I just don't need that word for explaining.
So if I understand this right, you consider this a label. This is a label.
Somehow it's yeah, that's true. It's somehow like a label, and I don't feel I don't know. It's difficult to explain what's my problem with that, But maybe it's the overusing of that word in stupid tattoo TV shows, where everything you hear, oh, there's an artist and artist and artist. Yeah, well, fuck, everyone is an artist. If a kid draws a painting or something, yeah, well, it's an artist too. I mean, where it starts and where it ends,
Thanks a lot, Fabian. This was a very nice talk. And you can check all the links about Fabian Langes, all his work on the links below. So you find all the information. Follow him, check out where he's going next, because he does a lot of tattoo conventions too. So he's not just in our home place, which is Südtirol, northern Italy, but he's all around the world. And so I'm sure you can catch up with him. And for me, the last question, Fabian, would be, so what can artists really teach other people? Why is creativity so important? If you have to summarize up what we said in 2 phrases, what can you teach to the people outside there?
In our head, everything is always worse than it is. So sometimes just try it. And if it doesn't work, you try something else, But if you don't try, you will never know. So 20 years ago, when I wanted to open the shop, my parents, for example, they were quite skeptic if that's a good idea. But in my head, it was, that's it. I have to do that. And at that time, I was really, really, really bad at tattooing, But it worked out, a bit of luck and a lot of passion and a lot of hard work. It pays off. So Sometimes you have to try to see. If you don't try, you will never see. So that's it, I think.
Go for it. And it worked out. 20 years later, you're still there and you work 4 days. You do what you like to do and you have a lot of really happy clients that still follow you. So you're a perfect example. Thanks for your time, Fabian.
Thanks you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks to you. And be creative and to see us for the next episode. Thanks to everyone.
Definitely. Bye.